Age is really the greatest risk factor in developing Alzheimer's disease. And of course, we're living longer. Many years ago, when people were dying in their 40s, Alzheimer's disease wasn't even known. However, there are some lifestyle problems that increase your risk. Certainly head injury. We know that World War II veterans who suffered any kind of head trauma have 50% higher rate of getting Alzheimer's disease. And in the United States, we've had quite a controversy around our football, which is not your football, but we have a lot of football players who have developed Alzheimer's disease. Smoking also increases the risk. Obesity is also a risk factor, and we need to exercise our bodies as well as our minds. One of the ways that we're looking at why people develop Alzheimer's disease is when they become isolated. And so many times when they start to have a problem, they stop going to church because they can't remember people's names. They perhaps used to go to the pub, and they stop doing that. And they sit in front of the television, which is the worst activity you could have. So if anyone knows someone who seems to be having some problems and is withdrawing, please see if there's a way that you can make it safe for them to go out with you, make it comfortable for them, not challenging them when they can't remember words, but just having a good time. Lowering that stress and interacting with others is a lovely way to live any life, but especially when someone is beginning to have memory problems. We are threatened more if it runs in the family, and my physician husband is a better person to talk about the genetics of Alzheimer's.
There are some families where the disease starts early, usually early, sometimes in the 30s, and that is because they have a bad gene which is transmitted from person to person and might actually cause the disease in half of all the descendants. But this is very rare. It's only about 5% of people with Alzheimer's disease. What's interesting is that we have to consider Alzheimer's disease to be a disease of the whole lifespan, because risk of Alzheimer's disease is increased if a person loses parent at the age of 16. So it's not just an old age, it's actually a stress throughout the life which is increasing the risk of developing Alzheimer's disease.